Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal, the International. We'll begin with our top stories. September 4, 2023 marks the start of the 2023-2024 academic year in Cameroon. School resumption was effective in most schools in Douala. Students and pupils answered present will paint the ambience in the littoral, central, northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. And General Brice Oligui Nguema has been sworn in as the transitional president this September 4, 2023, after the overthrow of Ali Mbongo, not specifying how long it will take the promised elections by the end of his rule. Those are major stories. Details right ahead. Good evening once more. Inhabitants of the southwest region in general and members of the education community in particular are still under shock following two tragic incidents that occurred in Kumba and Tiko Douala wrote this Monday. Ines Ondwambala has the rest of the story.
Ghost town wind continued to blow all over the southwest region as population continued to observe the traditional Monday ghost town instructed by separatist fighters. In Kumba, city dwellers have remained indoors following the sporadic gunshot recorded in K-Town since Sunday. The incident has left one death in the Kake vicinity in Kumba in Meme Division. Frida, a Form 3 student, was killed by stray bullet this Monday at their family residence. Another tragic incident occurred this Monday on the Tiko Douala Highway as a ghastly motor accident killed one and left many severely wounded. It is a timid back to school in the southwest region, where Sonora School in Limbe is the lone school institution which has been effective as they are in day 3 of the school year. Boarding schools are equally effective as both teachers and students have all sat present this Monday. Other learning institutions have remained closed this first day of the academic year, hoping to open their doors as from Tuesday, September 5, 2023.
Like any other Monday in most parts of the northwest region of Cameroon, many years now, it was a ghost town again, to the contrary to national expectations of the start of a new academic year. Like rain showers this Monday morning further dampened the start of the day. School campuses and classrooms remain deserted as separatist threats have made rounds on social media, even pushing for extended boycott. Only security forces have been posted around major junctions in Bamenda, like here at the hospital roundabouts, where gendarmerie and police elements have been checking the few people, like on bikes and on foot, who decided to brave the weekly ghost town. Also said we'll come back to that in our subsequent editions of newscasts. And tune for barrister Dango Calvin, who doubles as the president of the Anglophone lawyers in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, has sent a clarion call for the separatists to let children go back to school. He urged regions to take measures to push the back-to-school drive forward. He insists education is the only key to guarantee a bright future for children. Let's take a listen.
My dear brothers and sisters of the Northwest and Southwest region. Another academic year has come. Children are preparing to go to school. We should also be preparing to send our children to school because education is a human right. The right to education is as important as the right to life. We must do everything in our powers to guarantee this right. Let the children go to school. I am an advocate for pens to be distributed to children to go to school, not guns to be distributed to our youths. Our children need to be educated about the history of this country so that tomorrow they will be able to appreciate things for themselves. Depriving them from going to school is, in a way, frustrating their future. Dear brothers and sisters, dear elites, for no reason whatsoever should a child be deprived from education. Anybody who cares about tomorrow should send a child to school. We cannot sacrifice the future of our children on the altar of a war. Send your own child to school and help some other person send a child to school.
Internally displaced students have expressed joy of resuming classes for the 2023-2024 academic years, some after about 5 years without actually going to school. They are spread across schools in the Douala for a municipality that effectively kick off the new school year. Ambo Gladys Dibang has the rest of that story.
An exciting moment for these Form 1 students who has been for 5 years without going to school due to the Anglophone crisis.
I am very, very happy to be in secondary school today. I never knew I would be in secondary school today because I've been in the house for 5 good years. So this is my happiest day in my life, to be in secondary school. This is the war that was in Bamenda that made us not to go to school.
In this institution in Bonaberi Douala, where effective classes have begun for the new school year, a number of internally displaced students have been enrolled.
Looking at students from the Northwest and the Southwest, I've received a number of them. And the most difficult part was that they were coming without report cards. So at certain level, we had to look at the children who were here before us. We evaluate their level. We ask some questions, evaluate the level with which they've attended. And out of that, we did what I'll call conscience admission. So we look at the child, examine the level, and then we admit using sentiments.
Just like this lay private college, classes have also effectively kicked off in other schools in the Douala 4 subdivision, like this new institution that plans to imprint itself in the books of success.
Full-time classes are on already. All the children are in their classes. All the teachers are there. The first aspect they did was to guide the children on all the subjects to be written on their books.
Classes have begun effectively. In fact, as you've seen, teachers are in their classes.
I had over 43 teachers this morning who signed the attendance register. When I went round, I discovered all teachers were in class. They were teaching, so there was effective lessons ongoing.
And for their first time in secondary school, many Form 1 students are hoping to make their parents and schools proud.
I've decided to always obey my teacher, always do my assignment, and to be focused so my mom can be proud of me.
I'm excited to be in Form 1.
Even the rains on September 4, 2023 could not stop the students from attending classes this first day of the 2023-2024 academic year.
You heard in the previous stories that classes are effective in a majority of schools visited here in Cameroon's economic city Douala. Pupils and students answered are present in classrooms. Our reporter Saleh Sherifa sums up their impressions on the first day of school resumption. Her story.
After 3 months of rest, pupils and students returned to school on September 4 for the start of 2023-2024 academic year. It is a new academic stage for the Form 1 students who have left from primary 6 to secondary school.
J'ai d'être venue dans mon lycée pour la première.
My dream has always been to be in a secondary school. I am really excited and I made new friends. Ready enough according to them, they are determined to face the new academic year this Monday, September 4, 2023. School authorities gave rules and regulations to both newcomers and returning learners.
Maintenant, nous sommes revenus pour étudier. À chaque chose son temps.
Our teachers are second parents. They are parents in school. He helped us to know, he explained us things about that. If you have to write our GCE in Form 4, we will lose the knowledge that we were supposed to acquire in Form 5, and it will not make us to have the competencies that we were supposed to have in Form 5. The first journey is very important to make us to forget the holidays so that we should know that we are already in school.
Classes have started for the 2023-2024 academic year with hard work and discipline highly recommended as important principles and values for academic excellence.
And to ensure the effectiveness of classes, Littoral Governor today embarked on an inspection or tour of some schools covering 3 municipalities, ensuring they are functioning with all legal rights. Our reporter William Afro followed him and now gives us an account of what happens.
Ensuring the effective start of the 2023 academic year and tracking down clandestine schools in the city of Douala were the main objectives of the Littoral Governor as he toured schools on the first day of the resumption of classes.
School resumed in the Littoral region without any constraints. We saw how the parents and the children were going to classes, and the teachers effectively began work.
Faced with the issue of clandestine schools being operational despite closure, Mr. Samuel Dieudonné Iva-Hadibua, together with his administrative collaborators, took drastic measures with the founders as he proceeded to have them arrested.
A kind of challenge against the states. So if you don't have your cards, there's no way for you to function, even for the personal people. So we close them today, and tomorrow, if somebody comes there, he has to see what the state is going to do.
A bitter pill to swallow to some proprietors of some schools who poured out their frustrations, arguing they have all legal documents which make them fit to be operational.
And Basic Education is accusing me for reopening school today when it's officially stated that school begins today. They visited my school on Friday at 3 p.m. and put papers on the wall that the school is sealed. When the name of my school is not found amongst the list of schools that have been previewed to be shut down for this school year.
I'm ready to go anywhere because I know I have authentic documents done by the state. Except that the state is telling me today that the good documents that they gave me were wrong. The documents, I followed them myself. I'm not in the education by Waza.
As it stands, they will have to prove beyond all reasonable doubt that they are operating on legal rights. It should be noted, classes were effective in the majority of schools visited in the city of Douala on the first day of the start of a new academic year.
And the Secretary of State in the Ministry of Secondary Education has urged students and teachers to be committed as they begin the new academic year. Boniface Bayola was speaking following an inspection visit to evaluate the effectiveness of classes. More with our reporter, Beatrice Ngamu.
Like the students, the Secretary of State at the Ministry of Secondary Education and team were at some secondary schools in the nation's capital, Yaoundé, this Monday, September 4th. Their mission to inspect the effectiveness of classes on this first day of the 2023-2024 academic year. From this Catholic private secondary school to the government bilingual teachers training college, GTC, Nkolbisong, GHS BMRC, and others, Boniface Bayola moves from the classrooms, the offices, practical rooms, and more, and the satisfaction mutual.
From the schools we visited so far, we are proud to say that school has effectively begun because we met teachers teaching. We observed some of them teach, and that gave the minister the opportunity to dish out instructions from hierarchy to the teachers and the students.
This first day of the school year, classes are effective. No time to waste. Occasion also to salute the quality of teachers as good companions for their students. The secondary education officials wasted no opportunity to remind the students to be assiduous, committed throughout the school year, especially as it is the genuine cooperation needed for a hitch-free academic year. Like praises, shortcomings were also raised, and school officials called upon to amend.
And schools have eventually kicked off. The teachers have the task of redressing the learners after 3 months of long vacation, while some parents are still in search of schools for their children. Others are already on with lessons. Let's look at the states. Let's look at the takeoff in Yaoundé in the following story with our reporter, Haisincha.
It has been an effective takeoff of the 2023-2024 academic year in the nation's political capital, from the nursery to the high school. At the government primary school Etudi, the pupils answered present by 7:30 a.m. for the hoisting of the flag and the singing of the national anthem. Same atmosphere in this Anglo-Saxon institution at the Manuel neighborhood, with firm instructions dished out to the learners as the school year begins.
You don't go out as you step in now until time for break. And if you want to go out, what do? You obtain permission from the teacher.
Classes effective from day one.
Today we are starting. The first lesson will pass just some few minutes from now. And I work already with their summary notes, what they have to put on about. And I believe that by the end of today, they are going to at least for the first time achieve a maximum of at least 6 lessons for the day.
And at the Emana Government Bilingual High School Yaoundé, lessons kick-started effectively by 8 a.m. with over 300 teachers and 3,502 students present.
We received all our students, our teachers and our administrators. They were all on campus for the General Assembly. And we had to give them instructions on the rules and regulations of the school and the perspective that the minister, Professor Nalova Lyonga, has prescribed, especially on digitalization and distance education, clean school, no drug, no fighting, no violence on the school campus and out of the school campus.
And both at the nursery, primary or secondary levels, the first day was punctuated with certain irregularities.
For the first day, it's not an easy task. We are still new to them. They are new to us, so it's not easy to distinguish the different kids, but with time we are going to pick up.
A lot of difficulties here because it was their first time to school. From morning to afternoon, they were just crying.
Especially the CZM and the Form 1, they don't yet master the campus, so we were there to orientate them so that they should not panic.
Equally, hundreds of parents could still be spotted in administrative offices this Monday, September 4th, queuing up to seek admission for their children.
I will take you out of the country. We'll go right away to Gabon, where General Brice Oligui Nguema has been sworn in as a transitional president this September 4, 2023, after the overthrow of Ali Bongo, not specifying how long it will take. He promised elections by the end of his rule. Brice Oligui Nguema swears in Libreville, Gabon, before God and Gabonese people to faithfully preserve the Republican regime, respects and ensure respect for the transition charter and the law, he declared. And that brings us to the end of this edition of the Prime Time Newscast in the English language on Canal, the International. Thanks so much for watching. But coming up next is The Brief with Mathieu Fangwa. As for me, I'll be back same time tomorrow. Good night.